coming in, getting a little motivational surprise here. Just got a text from my old wrestling coach. This is it.
All right.
Coach Doug Kline.
Yeah, this old fat man gonna keep up with him for about 100 yards.
Playing dead?
Dead. Okay, so how'd you guys hook up together?
So, I was in 8th grade. He's a science teacher. He was brand new at Okigili. He hated me. I was 15 years old. I didn't know him. So it's not that I hated him. I just disliked teachers in general.
Understood.
And I just was a little fuck, you know? So, I messed around a lot and hung out with some rough kids. I was a rough kid myself. And, like to fight, like to, just get in trouble, stuff like that. And then I met him. I was always athletic, though. I just wasn't into academics. And when I played basketball and did really good that year, and 8th grade year was the year that I really tried to bang it out. Like 6th and 7th grade were my roughest years. And then 8th grade, I really tried to mature a little bit, since I was going into high school, and I was just open to pretty much anything, trying to get good grades and stuff like that. I still have my troubles in 8th grade, but so after basketball season, he approached me in the hallways and said, "Hey, why don't you?" Oh, by the way, I had a broken pinky because we lost the last basketball game before the championship. And I got pitched against the wall. So I never did that again. I learned my lesson with that. And then,
Tell them how I look.
so I had a cast on, and he says, "Why don't you come out for track? You're athletic." And he used to come up to me after the basketball games and tell me I did pretty good and was athletic and stuff. And I'd always come out for track. So when I had that cast, I got a watermelon cast, and I was able to run, and I actually ran the whole track season with that cast.
Wow.
And
He goes, "Yo, coach, how am I going to run with this?" And I'm like, "Well, last time I checked, you ran with your legs."
yeah, you run with your legs. And then I got the waterproof, so it was even better. And then he took me on. So I never ran before. It was like a brand new sport to me. I always was athletic, and you have to run in sports, but it's not the same. It's like more focus. You're more in your head. In a sport, you feel like you're playing a game, so that takes your mind off the focus. And he took me on my first 3-mile run. I'll never forget it. It was in the woods, and my middle school that I grew up in, it was at a park right next to it. And out of the 3 years, I had never known that park was there until he fucking showed me. I had to be in 1 year there. And so he took me back there. It was the toughest thing I ever did, in my opinion. And I just was really attracted to it because I felt like it was tough. And I felt like if I practiced it more, I would get better at it. But I really enjoyed it at the same time. It's kind of one of those things where you're like, man, it's a push, it's tough, but I like it, you know? Yeah. So I asked him, what can I, plus I was really attracted to his mentality, his personality, and the way he looked as well, because he was freaking shredded and he looked like the Incredible Hulk, and he still is.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was basically asking him everything I possibly could to pick his brain and know. I still ask him and I still learn from him. But at that time, I really just looked at him like, man, I want to be like that guy. And he took me under his wing. I heard that he ran across the country in 2001. And when he told me from Michigan to Florida, yeah, we looked at him like he was crazy, but I was a little different. I looked at him like it was crazy, but at the same time I was like, I see, that's what you did. So how can I do that? I want to do some crazy shit like that, epic like that, and because that was just my personality, and I was really attracted to what he was doing and what he did. He got me in the weight room. He taught me a bunch of things, how to work out, how to push myself through running, in every aspect in life. There was even times in high school where he came over my house and like studied with me and helped me with finals because I really was intensive reading all the time and like what's it called, the ESE classes and stuff. So I had like a little bit slower on the learning side. And he helped me with that even. He taught me a lot in every aspect in life. I looked up to him, and whenever I felt like there was something I needed to know that I didn't know, or maybe I needed advice on a certain situation, I always felt comfortable with this guy right here. I felt like he would at least guide me. And there's been times where he's told me things and I implemented them and they didn't work for me, but that was still a learning experience. So now I know what works for me, but for the most part, like everything he's taught me has just made me who I am today, and it really takes more than one person. Like I have a great support base. My parents are really supportive, and he was really the beginning of my transformation, and what I'm doing right this second is what I looked at him in the eyes and said I wanted to do when I was 15 years old. So it's trippy. You get emotional a little bit when you really think deeply, and there's just so many people that affect your life in different ways. He was even saying this yesterday. There's friends that you have for 5 seconds, and then there's friends that you have for years, and it's like who's really gonna be there for you when the shit hits the fan?
It's curves.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's kind of like breaking your skirt a week before feeling it.
This is, you know this.
Breaks the sternum. It's slammed. So I guess that win because it was an illegal move. They go to the hospital. Pain. Guard takes them to the emergency. They tell them that night, well, you split your sternum and you're never going to wrestle again. Definitely not next week in the state finals. Now Brian has been, I don't know if he gave you all this or not.
Yeah,
Brian has been a 3-time state qualifier. First kid in Lake Orion to ever qualify the first 3 years of his wrestling career. This was his last shot. And they said he wasn't going to wrestle. So actually we had 2 weeks, didn't we?
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
So for a week, he just sat on the bike, stationary bike, in the wrestling room. At the end of that first week, I touched him. I went like this. How you feeling? Dropped right to his knees. So I knew there's way too much pain there. There's just no way he's going to be able to do it.
because he did that on purpose.
Oh, absolutely.
Come back here.
Because that's nothing compared to what he's going to face if he wrestles in the state tournament, in the state finals. So I talked to Gar that night. And Gar said, well, we're going to go see a second doctor, get a second opinion. The second doctor told him can't do any more damage. It's already split. So all it's going to do is hurt. He can put up with the pain. I guess I'll give him the go to go. Well, again, there was another week of nothing but stationary bike training. We get to the state tournament literally 1 minute before his name was called to wrestle in his first bout of the state tournament. He was over trying to warm up, and I was standing next to his dad, and I said, he can't do it. And Gar says, he's doing it. And I looked at Brian. Brian goes, I'm doing it. And I tell you what, it was the most amazing thing I ever saw in my life. He was one nose plug away from being in the state semifinals. And in the quarters, he had a kid beat.
I don't remember this, so go ahead.
Oh, well, he's a nosebleeder, right?
Yeah.
Bleeds like crazy. So he's got plugs in both nostrils. And he's got this kid 5-2 with a third period. Kid was from Catholic Central.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Yeah. So Brian's ahead 5-2. He wins that, he's going to the state semis, guaranteed placement. So he's ahead 5-2, third period he's down. Right off the whistle, this guy throws a half. And for over a minute, Brian's fighting this half off so he doesn't get turned. Well, with about 40 seconds to go in the match, he's on all fours. He's got his hands down, he's up on his feet in a perfect quad, not a tripod, but a quad pod. He's up like this, and he is exerting so much pressure, both of the plugs popped out of his nose. The blood starts spewing onto the mat. The referee blows his whistle, stops the match, because he has to do that when there's blood. You got to stop the match, and awards the other kid 4 points. Now the rules are, if you turn a kid and you have to stop the match while he's on his back, you get an additional point. But he had never been on his back.
Yeah.
He gave him 4 anyway, 3 plus the penalty point. I was absolutely livid. The only time in my career I got a tech called on me.
Right.
They actually announced my name. Remember that? Yeah. Listen, the coach from Lake Orion has been hit with a technical misconduct.
Awesome story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he ends up losing 6-5. Now he's got to come back in the losers bracket to place.
Yeah.
To get top 6 is place.
Yeah, top 6 at that time. Now they're placing 8, but
Yeah, but out of the state.
yeah. So now he's got to win one more match to end up placing in the state. And I'll be damned if you didn't. Not only did you win that one, you ended up winning the next one. And so you ended up wrestling for 5th, 6th. Whip, not even broken. No, this is split. This is split. It's wide open. There's a gap through the whole thing.
You see like a
Yeah, in the X-ray. It's ridiculous. And so you ended up placing. It's the most amazing thing I ever saw in my life. It was a good time. I know. It's been my hero ever since.
You made me.
Same here.
You made me.
He is pretty amazing.
Yes, he is.
Constantly showing amazing things.
He was such an inspiration.
Now, did I tell you about the time in Alaska when I was going up this mountain and I was run down by a bear?
I think you told me about that.
Huh. Impressive.
She's a professional. See this technique? You'll never get this done anywhere else, and it's amazing. Why are we whispering? Because we're in afternoon nap time.